Hello everyone, I'm Breor and welcome to the first video in a series during which I shall level up from 0 to 70. I'm making this series by request as I've received many comments in the past few weeks and months asking me to take a look at lower level gameplay. Since owning and operating multiple accounts on the same server is frowned upon, I'll be doing this playthrough on the United Kingdom server, so if you play here as well, feel free to drop me a message. With all that being said, let's go ahead and create this account. The first thing that we will be taking a look at is the in-game tutorial, something that has reportedly been revamped many times since I started playing back in 2012. This modern version of the tutorial seems to do a much better job of encouraging the player to return to the game at a later time, since it offers so many gifts. What it may not do, however, is properly teach the player how to play Goodgame Empire, so I shall be adding my commentary to a playthrough of the tutorial now. The in-game tutorial starts us off by requesting that we construct a woodcutter. Construction during the tutorial period is made cheaper and quicker so that beginning players don't have to sit through the long build times commonplace later in the game. A few months ago, one of my real-life friends saw that it was taking me 7 hours to construct buildings and wondered audibly why I would ever consider playing such a game. Those of us who do play Empire know that there's a lot more to the game than waiting for queues to be completed, but the tutorial is configured to gradualize players into that realization. Once we have constructed the woodcutter and a few other buildings, it will be time to take a look at public order. There are two decorative items that can be constructed at such a low level, the supplies barrels and the signpost. They both provide 4 units of public order, so you should base your decision about which to build only off of the cost of construction. I had more wood than stone, so I chose to construct the barrels. The game does a merely mediocre job of explaining to the player the importance of public order. Your decorative items will work to increase the happiness of your people. In turn, your people will produce for you more wood, stone, and food. In the early videos in this series, I won't focus as much on the decorative items because there's really not much point in doing so until you unlock the larger 5x10 decorative items down the road. Now that we've made our citizens happy, let's turn our attention to our military. The game is going to start us off by having us construct a barracks. Normally the player would initiate recruitment by clicking on the barracks and then clicking recruit, but the tutorial forces us to use the menus on the lower right of the screen. Like construction, recruitment is accomplished very quickly during the tutorial phase. Before we exit to the world map to hammer some robber baron castles, we also need to construct an encampment. Many players forget it is the encampment that houses one's commanders. The encampment can be placed right next to the barracks, as it is the same size, and it needn't be interacted with after it is constructed. At this point, the game asks us to name our castle. Because the name of my castle on the United States server is simply castle spelt with a K, I figured I would do the same here and add a 2 to the end of it. Level 3 unlocks the storehouse. By building the storehouse, we will increase the space in our inventory for wood, stone, and food. Subsequent construction projects will need more wood and stone than we can currently hold, so the storehouse is a good priority build. Now let's construct a siege workshop where we can make and purchase tools necessary for our attacks. You might be required to expand your castle again if there isn't currently enough room to fit the workshop, as it is a large building. Tool production works in much the same way as recruiting, but the game guides us through the window once more. Now we're brought to the world map, where we can make our first attack on a robber baron castle. To my knowledge, it's not possible to lose against a level 1 robber baron castle, but the game will guide us through the attack window anyways. Here, however, is one of the first things I can't appreciate about the modern revamped tutorial. It doesn't actually show players how to construct attacks. Instead, it tells them to hit autofill. We could save 1 wooden ladder and double the amount of attacks we could launch by simply sending a single spearman down the center. Anyways, travel times during the tutorial are just as quick as construction times, and before long, we will have completed another quest and we'll have a battle report to take a look at. As expected, there can be no casualties on this attack. Let's return then to our castle, where we are prompted to choose a hero with which to fight. Your choice doesn't actually matter, so I'm just going to select the general in the center. You will get a customized message depending upon your choice, and the appearance of your first unique hero will differ as well. While we are here in the equipment screen, let's go ahead and adorn our first commander with whatever equipment we already have. You may have acquired some from attacking the robber baron, or by completing quests. The game also prompts us to construct a defense workshop and fortify our defense with tools. The default setup of 25, 50, 25 is abysmal for a low-level standard offline defense, and I recommend you change to a setup of 00, 100 or similar once the game gives you the opportunity. You might have to play through the tutorial window once before you can make these changes. Once you reach level 6, many of the game's events will appear, depending upon what happens to be running at the time. We are going to ignore these for now, but it is my hopes to make a low-level guide for all of these things in the future. What you should ignore, however, is the horde of offers that appear during the tutorial stage. As you can see here, if we reach level 10 within a week, we will be richly rewarded. Let's see if we can't do that by the end of this video. There are 2 gifts awaiting us in the top right-hand corner of the screen, and there will sometimes also be a buried chest hiding somewhere in the forest. All of these gifts, challenges, and events are part of the developer's means of encouraging players to return to play again. The game rewards consistency and consistent daily logins. Let's go ahead now and construct a research tower. The tower used to be exclusively for higher level players, but was updated to include projects for lower level players somewhat recently. We won't be doing any research now as we are resource poor, but please stay tuned for a video on that in the future. Alright guys, I'm going to speed up the rest of this video so we can progress to level 10. There are still a few things about this upcoming series that I'd like to figure out, including what I plan to do in terms of an alliance. If you'd like to create a new account on the United Kingdom server and join me in my leveling up experience, please follow my new friend link in the video description. If you're so inclined, you're also welcome to post a video topic recommendation in the comment section below. I won't be a low-level player on this server forever, so I'd like to make sure I take care of all the subjects I need to while I still can. I'm thinking the next video will be about capturing an outpost, but beyond that, anything could happen. Thanks to those of you who asked I make this series. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss the upcoming videos.